A normal morning turned nightmare. On September 11, 2001, the world watched in horror as the United States faced the deadliest terrorist attack in modern history. What started as a normal Tuesday morning turned into a day of unimaginable terror, loss, and heroism. Clear blue skies stretched over New York City, Washington, D.C., and Pennsylvania. But beneath that calm, 19 terrorists from al-Qaeda had already boarded 4 commercial airplanes, ready to execute a plan that would shock the world and spark a global war. At 8:46 a.m., American Airlines Flight 11, hijacked by al-Qaeda operatives, crashed into the North Tower of the World Trade Center. The explosion tore through the upper floors, trapping hundreds of office workers. People in nearby buildings looked up in disbelief. News outlets rushed to report a possible accident. But the horror was only just beginning. At 9:03 a.m., United Airlines Flight 175 struck the South Tower, live on national television. It was clear now, this was a coordinated terrorist attack on U.S. soil. The Twin Towers, once symbols of prosperity, were now burning tombs. Trapped victims waved from shattered windows. Some, faced with an unbearable choice, jumped. At 9:37 a.m., American Airlines Flight 77 crashed into the Pentagon, the headquarters of the U.S. Department of Defense in Arlington, Virginia. 125 military and civilian personnel, along with all 59 passengers, were killed instantly. America's core institutions, its financial, military, and governmental foundations, were all under siege. While panic spread across the country, the passengers on United Airlines Flight 93 learned what had happened via phone calls to loved ones. Their plane, hijacked and headed for Washington, D.C., was believed to be targeting the White House or U.S. Capitol. But the passengers fought back. In an act of heroic defiance, they stormed the cockpit. At 10:03 a.m., the plane crashed into a field in Shanksville, Pennsylvania, killing all 44 on board, but saving countless lives on the ground. At 9:59 a.m., just 56 minutes after being struck, the South Tower collapsed, sending a pyroclastic cloud through lower Manhattan. At 10:28 a.m., the North Tower collapsed, bringing down the last of the World Trade Center's iconic skyline. In less than 2 hours, the city was transformed into a war zone. 2,977 lives were lost that day. Over 6,000 were injured. First responders gave everything. 343 firefighters, 72 police officers, and many more became heroes we still honor. In the hours and days that followed, the world stood still. Airlines grounded. Borders tightened. Survivors searched through rubble, clinging to hope. Investigators confirmed that the terrorist group al-Qaeda, led by Osama bin Laden, orchestrated the attacks. He cited U.S. support for Israel, military bases in Saudi Arabia, and sanctions against Iraq as motivations. On October 7, 2001, the United States launched Operation Enduring Freedom, invading Afghanistan to dismantle the Taliban regime and eliminate al-Qaeda. For the first time in history, NATO invoked Article 5, declaring the attacks an attack on all member states. Over the next 2 decades, the global war on terror would span multiple countries, costing trillions of dollars and millions of lives, including those of American troops and innocent civilians. After years in hiding, Osama bin Laden was killed on May 2, 2011, during a U.S. Navy SEAL raid in Abbottabad, Pakistan. His death marked the end of a decade-long manhunt, but not the end of the conflict he ignited. In the years that followed, the cleanup at Ground Zero was completed. Families mourned. Tributes were built. In 2014, One World Trade Center, also known as Freedom Tower, opened, standing 1,776 feet tall, a symbol of American resilience. 3 major memorials stand in remembrance. Asterisk the National September 11th Memorial and Museum in NYC. Asterisk the Pentagon Memorial. Asterisk the Flight 93 National Memorial in Pennsylvania. Why 9/11 still matters today is because asterisk airport security transformed forever. Asterisk global anti-terrorism laws expanded. Asterisk surveillance and intelligence systems grew stronger. Asterisk families continued to live with the loss and strength of loved ones. The legacy of 9/11 isn't just about destruction. It's about unity, courage, and the unbreakable will of a people who refuse to be defined by fear. Every year, on September 11th, bells toll, names are read, and flags fly at half-mast. We remember the lives lost, the heroes born, and the day that reshaped a generation. This is not just American history, duh. This is world history.